Yeah, I feel like when it comes to ring shopping, there's like two brains that I'm for a girl. There's two brains that I would have on. For a guy, obviously, it's probably just one brain. For me, there's obviously the logical brain that's like, oh my gosh, this is so expensive for like a ring, and like the resale value is not good. But then there's like my other man's like, shiny. I want it. I want the biggest shiny one they have.
I want it to blind me. It's so shiny.
Yeah, like you can't like control yourself when you see them because they're so shiny.
That blows my mind.
By the way,
What blows your mind?
I mean, the concept of finding this thing desirable.
Yeah.
the shiny.
Like looking at a ring and being like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. Because I'm like, what's so pretty about it? It's like, what makes you want to acquire this thing?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because in my mind, I'm like, I could throw it down the toilet and I wouldn't be upset. In my head, I'm like, it's just a thing that's worthless.
Yeah.
But so when
Like a rock.
But that being said, I've come around to accepting that people have different opinions than mine.
I guess
So
you had to at some
I've
point.
come to realize that my opinion is not the only one in the world.
So with me and Zaid, what we do is we went around. I told him what is the style that I want, which was like square, with handles, like the idea of what I want. But I told him, however big you want it, that's up to you. But that's the style that I want, yeah? But I was with him. Like, we'd go around, we'd look at shops, he'd negotiate. Like, I knew how much things were costing throughout, Even paid in front of me. That whole thing happened,
Yeah.
But I don't think, like, at any point I made him feel like, I want a bigger one, you're not buying me, Like,
Oh, yeah.
I was very like, oh, this is good. Thank you. But in the end, the ring that I had legit was, and I mean, scratch the was. The ring that I had was the nicest thing I had ever purchased in my life, Like I really valued how nice it was. I don't know, maybe you guys can't like relate to this conversation.
Definitely.
But like when I would wear it, I'd be like, today I'm wearing the ring. Like it was like a big thing. Like I really love the ring.
Okay. I'm trying to relate to your story. So I'm just imagining my dad walking in one day with a PlayStation 5 and a 5 HD or whatever
But like
TV.
A PlayStation 5 that you can wear
Yeah.
and take with you places, and people will compliment you on it and be like, wow, your PlayStation 5 is really nice.
Heaven.
Like it turns heads.
That's the life, eh, boys?
It turns heads. It's so nice. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
when you're, gesturing with your hand, people's eyes follow your fingers because they're like, what is that on her finger? It's just so nice,
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I would only take it out on special occasions and blah, 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 blah. Okay. So you guys understand the value of it.
Yeah, totally.
It's definitely like after a few years, it was no longer because it's expensive. It was just like that one special item that I have.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You get it?
Yeah. Sorry to
Go for it.
go on a tangent. But I was once Susie and I, Susie, my now fiance, for whom I already acquired a ring, were talking about rings. And we got into a little like argument or whatever, because she's like, no, I want to go back to this store again for like the third time. And I was like, why? Like, we've already gone. I already get an idea of what you like. I'm going to pick it. She's like, no, but I can't decide between like the oval diamond or the whatever diamond and whatever. And I'm like, but it's going to be nice. Like, think about it. Like, it's going to be nice anyway.
Yeah.
And I tried to rationalize this point. Hear me out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I tried to be like, there's things that I really love. Maybe not so much for the quality of the thing, but just for the iconic nature of the thing. My thing is really, 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 really expensive guitars.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
If I go into a guitar shop, I always go like, man, 40,000 dirham guitar. I want to play it. and I'll play it and be like, holy fuck, that sounds so good. Even though if it was 1,000 dirham guitar, I probably couldn't tell by sound quality. So I was telling Susie, like, yo, think of it like this. Like, if you go into a really nice guitar shop and your budget is, whatever, like 100,000 dirhams, 50,000 dirhams, 30,000, I promise you can get me any fucking guitar and I'm going to love it. Whatever it is, it's going to be there's not one that will be like, oh man, this sucks. Like this it's like just the fact that it's a unique guitar that costs that, like that on its own, and the fact that you chose it.
Makes it special.
Makes it a special, and I will always cherish it. Why can't you be the same about the ring? Why do you gotta be like, no, I have to pick it? And
because I can relate to what Susie's saying, because you feel like the ring that you're gonna have is gonna be like your ring forever. It's gonna be that engagement ring that you have forever. So some people who maybe like have little difficulty making decisions when shopping or something like that, they really want to make sure to buy the one that they won't regret. Like the one that they're going to love forever. Not like always be like, I wish I got the other one.
But does anyone do that?
I don't know. Maybe some people do that.
I want to hear from anyone in the audience. I swear, send messages, Twitter, tweet at Hamburger Generation. Has anyone in the world ever been given an engagement ring and been like, I regretted this for the rest, even though I had like the perfect marriage. My whole life was amazing.
We have kids.
But every night I would sleep and look at that ring.
Yeah, because it's a special purchase. You want to make sure it's right. And it's not a cheap purchase, so you want to make sure it's right. Like that. That's just giving value to the purchase.
I totally agree with that. But I suppose where I was coming from was like, isn't it going to be right no matter what? It's going to be nice.
But she wanted it to be perfect.
Yeah.
Which I understand, because that's what I had done. I knew exactly, but I went in knowing exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
So like I made it very clear. It has to be this cut. Like it has to be square. Anything else is on you. Okay? So anyway, so you know how like square has 4 corners, right? So the diamond is held by, the 4 corners.
4 prongs. Edges.
Yeah.
Like 4 prongs.
Yeah. So it's held up by 4 things that then come down into like a triangle onto the ring.
Okay.
And then there's the ring. Anyways, so I had the diamond. Love it. That kind of thing. And then one day, I don't know, I was in the house. I was wearing it. My mom was over and Tamara was there, my daughter. And my mom was telling me something like, oh, for your daughter's room, maybe it would be good if you did this. Let's move the bed to this side, or let's do like some rearranging in the room.
So this is years after.
Years. I had a child and everything, So I was like, okay, fine. So me and my mom are like rearranging things around the room. Meanwhile, we had like a person, like a helper that was around who was like sweeping up and stuff like that. And then after we finished rearranging, I looked down at my hand thinking, oh, I forgot to take off my ring before the rearranging process, because I take it off, I'll put it back in the case. I only wear it for special occasions. I look down and the ring is there, but the diamond isn't.
Oh.
The diamond is not there. Like it's just the 4 handles.
Oh man.
With emptiness.
And for anyone who doesn't know, 99% of the price is the diamond, not the ring.
That's where the value is. Yeah, of course.
True, but I mean the resale value is probably in there realistically.
Yeah, but like what you paid for was the diamond.
Yeah. Like lots of
like a
thousands of thousands.
20,000 dirham ring, 19,000 is the diamond.
Exactly.
1,000 is the ring.
Exactly. So I look down, like my heart drops, and then I'm just like, okay, calm down. Yeah. It was on there before. And then like my immediate instinct was, have we taken out the garbage? It was on there. When I walked into the house, everyone stopped what they're doing.
Okay, so your nearest memory of like seeing the ring, it was there
in the house
when you walked in the house.
So it must be in the house.
Okay. Hello.
So thus began the sorting of all the garbage in the house. Like the problem is Okay, I mean, it's a good sized diamond, but
Yeah.
still,
Diamonds are small.
it's small.
It's meant to be on your finger.
And all I could imagine is like it being like in a landfill somewhere, like being like my special like very important to me ring that represents like when I got married and you know all that stuff being like thrown somewhere without anybody ever appreciating it, you know. So we start sorting the garbage. Dude, it was hours of sorting the garbage. Maybe like 3 hours later, and before Zaid came home, my husband, in the garbage in the kitchen, I took everything out, tissues, all this nasty stuff. And at the very bottom, there was like sand and dust. And like I was going through that and it was there.
Oh.
In between
Oh.
the sand.
Oh.
Yeah. It was there in between the sand and the dust. So I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I'm so sorry. Look at me. like it was the happiest thing ever to like move my fingers between the sand and the dust and then like just to see it shining through. So I took it out and then I was like, oh my, okay, where will I put this? Like I have to put it somewhere
So that it never.
so it never gets lost until
Damn.
it gets fixed.
Man, I was really on edge there for a second until you found it.
So like I had like a huge bowl, like a huge glass bowl with a glass lid
Okay.
in my kitchen. So I took out the huge bowl. I put the ring. I removed it off my hand, the ring part, and I put the diamond in it. And I covered it and I kept it there on the counter. Like this giant thing that I would never move or...
And no one would ever throw out.
Exactly. Like it's very obvious this bowl is there for the ring. Okay? So then, obviously after the freak out and everything, a few hours later, Zaid comes home. Zaid, the giant bowl on the kitchen counter, the ring is inside it. Please, you have to take it and make sure they really tighten the holes. I don't want it falling out again. Like, it was a close call.
So last time it was that you were just throwing something in the trash and somehow it got unscrewed from the ring and fell into the garbage.
It might have fell while we were like moving a bed. It bumped into it, and then maybe the helper that was there was sweeping.
Oh, that's why the dust.
Yeah, and they swept up the dust
Okay.
and then threw it in the garbage.
So she's swimming like, oh, a rock here. That's weird.
Something shiny, whatever. Anyways, so Zaid's like, yeah, okay, fine. Maybe like a week or two later, Zaid traveled. Okay, he went to the States. What happened was he was like packing and it was like a late flight. So I was like sleeping on the couch. And like, I don't know, he was chatting with me while I was like half asleep. Anyways, then he left to the States and he was gone for maybe like 2 weeks. And during those 2 weeks, I was like in and out of the house, stayed at my parents for a bit, stayed in the house for a bit. He comes back a few days after, or maybe like the day he came back or the day after. I was like, Zaid, by the way, can you please call the ring people? Because like you were gone for 2 weeks. You're back today. I'm sure it'll be ready, you know? And he was like, no, but I didn't take it. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, remember when I was packing that day when I was on the couch?
Chit-chatting.
Yeah, when
Oh,
we were
Lord, I don't
chit-chatting
like
on the
this.
couch. Like, yeah, you mean when I was asleep on the couch before you left to the States? He's like, yeah, remember? I told you, I took it out of my pocket, and I told you, Isra, here's the ring, wrapped in this crumpled up tissue. I'm leaving it on the kitchen counter.
What?
Oh,
What?
on the kitchen counter, too. The place where you throw out tissues.
What?
And I was like, what? Exactly.
Exactly that.
Exactly. And he's like, yeah, I told you. What do you mean? Oh, I told you, here it is. And I took it out of my
I'm
pocket.
placing this tissue with your diamond ring in the garbage. Just make sure you
Before you
claim
throw
it.
the garbage.
No.
Take out
I'm
the
placing it on this counter looking like a piece of garbage. And then I'm going to disappear for 2 weeks. And then when I come back, let's continue this conversation. Like, even while he traveled, it's not like he was like, oh, by the way, did you remove the ring? Or like that.
Oh my God.
So immediately I was like, oh my gosh, this ring is an emotional roller coaster. I can't take it anymore. So it began. Like, take all of the garbage in the house, collect all the garbage.
But like you don't know how long it's been gone.
It's been
I don't
2
know.
weeks.
I don't know if I had thrown out the garbage. I couldn't
Yeah.
remember if I come to the house, if I threw out the garbage, if I didn't.
What did you do with this tissue, inconspicuous tissue that you
Is
found?
it in the bathroom? Is it in the kitchen? Where could it
Yeah.
possibly be? Also, like, is the universe gonna give me this twice?
Yeah.
Like once, once the universe let me have it. It was like a warning.
Yeah.
But then the second time, like, I don't know. And I went through all of the garbage around the house, bit by bit by bit. And
Brutal.
in the end, I couldn't
No?
find it.
Oh my God.
You
So-
lost your engagement diamond.
So it legitimately is somewhere in a landfill in Dubai.
Getting crushed or something.
Yeah. Like being burnt. But it doesn't even burn, because it's
It's a
diamond.
diamond.
Very strong. Yeah.
It's like in the movies, one of those strangers right now, as at the end of the movie, he like picks up the diamond. Like, huh.
Yeah. In
Interesting.
like the year 2500,
Yeah.
they'd find my ring.